First of all, I'd like to say good afternoon to everyone. Thank you all for coming out today for this press conference. First of all, I would like to say that I am also frustrated about all the crime that is going on here in Meridian. I share with Mr. Hood his sentiments about the crime and that something needs to be done about it. I understand the community is very frustrated with it, and so am I. Meridian Police Department is working very hard in helping with these, solving these cases, these crimes that are going on. Our officers are out there. They are working diligently to make the community safe. We're also in the process of getting more training for them. They are attending conferences and other training that will help them. And also Meridian Police Department is in the process of rebuilding our SWAT unit. We are also in the process of rebuilding our gang unit to combat some of this crime that is going on in the city. The frustration part comes out that we're losing so many of our young people. We need the help from the community because we are losing our young people. We cannot do this alone. It is not something that the Meridian Police Department can be solely responsible for. We appreciate all help that we can get from the Lauderdale County Sheriff Department and any other law enforcement entity within this surrounding area. We are not turning down assistance to get any help in getting this crime under control. Our officers work very well with the deputies here. When they go out on call, there have been times when deputies have been assisting them, and they have been also assisting the deputies on calls. So we are not turning down any assistance, but we do need help from our community. As I've said in the past, whether it's a phone call, if you don't feel comfortable talking with officers in person, you can write a note, come down to the front desk. You don't have to sign your name or any other information to those notes. Give it to our front desk personnel that will get that to the person, such as an investigator or even to my office, so that we can look at it and see. But we need your help with giving us information, giving us names, so that we can work more diligently out here. We understand people are tired of hearing about shortages. Well, I'm tired about talking about shortages, but I have no other choice but to bring up that we are short man. And it's not just us, it's everywhere. And I know your concern is for this area. That's my concern also. But I need you to understand that we are working hard at getting people hired. We are training new officers that are coming in. We have some that are at the police academy right now. We have a couple that just graduated from our law enforcement academy. We are also hiring lateral transfers from other agencies that would like to come here. So it's not that we're not trying to get the proper manpower that we need here in Meridian. We are working very hard at that. But there is a process that they must go through, and I can't rush that process. But I promise you, we are doing our very best to get those needed people within this community to make everyone feel safe. My concerns are just like yours. I have family here. I grew up here. I'm from this area. And that's my concern also. That's the concern of the Meridian Police Department. These officers do an outstanding job. They are young and they need help. We lost a lot of seasoned officers, true enough, but these officers left for other reasons. They left for reasons such as a career change, more money, and other things. But we are working very hard with the officers that we have because they are willing to do their very best. They're here coming to work every day doing what they need to do for this community. I need you all to back them. Instead of getting on social media and everywhere else and bad-mouthing Meridian Police Department, let's come together as a community with the Meridian Police Department and make this work. We can't do this alone. This is a team effort. This is our community. This isn't your community. This isn't my community. This is all of our community. And in order to make it work, it takes each and every one of us to make this work. Also, I would like to say that Mr. Hood has something planned for December the 1st at the Boys and Girls Club. Meridian Police Department will show presence there because we do have concern about what's going on within this community. The gunshots, the shooting, the crimes has to stop. The killing of these young men, young women, innocent bystanders has to stop. People need to start speaking up. Those of you that are out here doing these type of activities, you better believe when we get you, we're going to try and get the maximum sentence for you. It's out of hand and it needs to stop. It's not fair to this community. It's not fair to the police department. Your family lives in this community. You are killing innocent people. What happened to people that used to fight fair? If you had an argument with someone, now you're bringing out guns. That's a coward way of doing things. And people need to stand up and speak against this and stop being so negative toward the police department. The police department cannot be everywhere at the same time. The shooting that happened over in Western Gardens the other day with those young people on the school bus, that was ridiculous for people to be out there shooting like that, endangering innocent lives. And it needs to stop. It's ridiculous that you can't have a high school graduation without people trying to commit violent acts. It needs to stop. It's ridiculous that you rather record people out here fighting and shooting rather than to come up with a solution to stop it. It's going to take this whole community, not just Meridian Police Department, not just Lauderdale County, not just Boys and Girls Club or any other. It takes all of us. It takes people within the neighborhoods. This is our community, and we need to take back our community. We can't do that without your help. So I solicit help, I solicit information and concerns from everyone. So before you start talking negative and speaking negative, what are you doing? What are you doing to make this a better community? Do you even want a better community? Meridian Police Department are out there at every event that goes on here in the city of Meridian. And they are doing an outstanding job. And I need you to support them. They need you to support them. If you see something going on, report it. It's just that simple. But we can't have our eyes and ears everywhere. We need yours also. Any questions?
As you brought up, where you asked people to call and report things, what do you say to the person? Because I get a lot of comments about this. Listen, I think it was right off of 10th Avenue, up past where Walmart, the new Walmart is back there, the subdivision of the elderly gentleman who did report something, and then they come to his house, and I think they were arrested on attempted murder. There's a fear within Meridian of anybody to report something that the bad guys will come get them. What do you say to that person that's nervous to call? Anybody that tells me anything goes, please don't say I asked this, because they're scared for their life. What do you say to them? How do they go about this?
I understand his concerns, and I understand all the community concerns about reporting stuff, because people, those bad guys that are out there, are trying to be a nuisance within this community and scare people. And that's why I said, if you even just get a note to us, you don't have to leave your name or anything like that. We understand the fear that goes on within this community, but we just ask that find some type of way to get that information to us. You don't have to sign your name to anything. You can just drop it off at the front desk and say, give this to the chief, or give this to the investigators, or just give it to another officer to get it back to the back for us to look over it. And they should not be giving out your information to anybody. So just give us that type of information. You don't have to sign your name to anything.
What's the latest you can tell us about the recent shooting that claimed the 15-year-old's life?
The only thing I can tell you is that it is still under investigation. As soon as we learn more, we will definitely let you all know.
And is NPD going to be increasing patrols during the holiday season?
Yes, ma'am. We will be increasing patrol like we do every year. Our officers will be out in the different department store areas, patrolling through to make sure everyone is safe. And on that note, I would also like to advise our community to be watchful out there when you're out holiday shopping, because we do know this time of the year, that's when crime starts to pick up in the community, because we have those people that are out there doing all types of things to get money and get items. So please don't leave any items sitting out in the open inside of your vehicles, such as your purses or any type of holiday packages. We ask that you lock your car doors, your homes, as soon as you get in them. If you see anything or hear anything suspicious, don't hesitate to give us a call.
You brought up Mr. Ricky Hood of the incident that happened at Western Gardens a couple of days ago. I don't remember the exact day, but people that were shooting from the wood line as kids got off the bus. And as I spoke with Ricky, he had asked the community, he said, I need your help. Does MPD, or do they plan to escort these buses? Can y'all at this point escort them home, or does it rely on private citizens helping for now? Where are we on that?
On that right there, we did help with escort on yesterday also for the bus. We made sure that we had an officer out there to escort them. We made sure the night that it did occur, that we had someone to escort them back there. We're asking that the community will assist. We're not asking you to get out there and be a police officer, but we are asking you to have your eyes and ears open for anything that may look suspicious, that we can get in head of that. But we are out there trying to help with the escorts of those youth.
And my next question is, I've been tracking this for a little over a week now. We've had somewhere between 10 to 14 businesses that have been struck. And I've kind of nicknamed them the power bandits. One of the things that they do when they take the big stuff is knock the power out of the building. And then they go in after everything has been killed so they can go in front of the security cameras. What are we doing to prevent this? Because I've had 2 or 3 businesses that are at the point to where they feel that they've got to hire private security firms now to protect their interests. I've even got one man that has been hit twice, and he said he's not sure that he can even afford to stay open to repurchase things. I spoke with at the tobacco vape that's on 18th. They've been hit so many times that they no longer have insurance. The last one cost him somewhere between $12,000 to $18,000 worth of inventory, and he has no insurance. And it's hard to do business when the bad guys are taking your stuff. Is the Meridian Police Department's next move to try to curb this crime, to where they just go in overnight and just think they own the streets, more or less? And that may not be the best way to word it, but they do run at night and take what they want. Where are we on that?
We are updating technology out here. We're trying to get more things in place so that we can view what's going on within the city. We know that a lot of businesses do hire their own security. They are more able to do that. Some are. Like I said, police officers cannot be everywhere at the same time. They are out there patrolling at night, and we are in the process of getting another unit involved to be out there. We have some guys now that are doing those type of things. So without, I guess, giving out too much right now too soon, those are the type of things that we are working on, and we have been looking at those businesses that have been hit, and some things just don't seem right, because some people know exactly where camera systems are, or the cameras are, and so.
Right, yeah, and I've had that brought to me several times of it's being watched.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you are hiring more people in the pipeline. I got a message today. Do we have two more officers that are leaving? Are they experienced officers? Are they new officers? And is there any truth to that we have two more that have resigned that are stepping down?
I don't know anything about that. I can't speak on that.
Okay.
I don't have that information.
Would you be willing to do weekly updates with us to stay ahead of this crime? So I think one of the biggest problems that Meridianites have is they feel like they're not informed. We begged, we wait to hear something from Jimmy. We don't hear anything. And maybe that comes why you don't get to speak as much. But can we hear more from you on a weekly basis, maybe, of updates of where we are and where crime is and what y'all are doing to protect us?
We do a crime report all the time.
I get that daily, but I'm talking about in person like this. People generally see that, but they don't pay attention. They feel more comfortable seeing you and hearing words from you. Can we hear from you more often?
You can hear from me more often, but there are a lot of times, and since you brought that up, a lot of people think that the chief of police is not doing anything. A lot of times the chief of police is doing more things than what you'll ever realize behind the scenes, helping with investigations and a lot of other things, complaints that are coming from within the community. So no, a lot of times I cannot be out there in the forefront of the cameras reporting those type of things, but as soon as I find out information, I will try to get it out there to you one way or the other, whether it's through me or my public information officers.
And what I mean by that is you just said that you're sometimes tied up. I don't think the public knows that. They would like to see you more often. I think, I hear that every day. I'd love to hear from the chief, and I think that would put a better feeling across the city to hear from you more is the reason I bring this up.
Okay, no problem with that.
Since we were talking about staffing, can you let us know how many officers do you have on staff?
We have 53.
And how many openings are there right now?
We have approximately about 30 openings.
So what are y'all doing to ramp up those recruitment efforts?
We are constantly talking with people. We have officers that are in place that are contacting people, that are sending recruitment information out. We make it known constantly that they can apply through our civil service office, or they can pick up applications here at our front desk Monday through Friday. They can pick up those applications and we will get those taken care of and taken back to civil service if they don't want to stop there.
You mentioned 53. That of the 53, how many actual one of those are patrol officers that can arrest of that 53? I know we have a lot of police officers, but how many do we actually that are on the street that can arrest out of that 53?
I don't have that information right now, but 53 people can make arrests that work here right now. And I understand where you're going with that, because the concern is the number of people. And like I said, there is a shortage. Everybody knows there's a shortage. And so to try to make Meridian Police Department feel bad about the shortage is everywhere.
No, I'm not.
And we're doing the best that we can as police officers to get things under control. We are recruiting. We are hiring people. As far as maintaining and keeping people here, as I said before, people come and go as they see fit. Some are going to other career fields and some are going to higher paying jobs. That's just how it goes with law enforcement. All the negativity that goes on across social media when it comes to policing has a big impact on what we have today as far as police officers.
Let me ask this, if you've heard about this in town, and it's been said to me, and if y'all are investigating it, a scam in town, and tell me what to tell people of this, of addressing people, of a scam in town of people that come up to you when you pull up to a business and say, my car is broke down, can I borrow your phone for a minute? I'm hearing all over town that there's a couple of guys that if you have an app on your phone and you have money on it or your bank accounts, it's taking your money instantly. What are y'all doing to stop this, and what do you know? Is this a nationwide thing, or is this a Meridian thing that's new?
No, this is not a Meridian thing. This is something that is going on. People are borrowing other people's phones and they get on their Cash App and they are transferring money. And so I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of people need to be wary and make sure that you're not allowing other people to use your phone, because they are going into the app and transferring money. But that's just one of the scams that's coming about the closer that we get to this holiday season.
What would you say in support of the officers that are, putting their life on the line every day?
Can you say that question again?
What would you say to your fellow officers, in support of them, because they're putting their lives on the line every day?
I would say I appreciate these young men and young women because it's a hard job. People can stand on the outside and look in and they can complain. But until you've put that uniform on, you don't know what it feels like. It's an unappreciated job. It's not the best paying job, but they come in and they do it. And they have a great attitude about it. And I appreciate their hard work. I know it's difficult. It's hard to hear all the negativity. It's hard to see the negative things that are on TV, not only here in Meridian, but across this world when it comes to law enforcement. And so I appreciate the hard work that these officers and law enforcement everywhere are doing for different communities, and especially Meridian police officer, because that's dear to my heart. I've been working with Meridian since 1995, and to see the way the community, the things that are going on within the communities now, is heartbreaking. And so I appreciate what these officers are doing. I know they get frustrated also. They get very frustrated. They are humans. But I appreciate the hard work that they do each and every day.
Do you know on, and not, because I just don't know the stats, the murder that we had in downtown Meridian, I'm pretty sure that was probably a targeted murder and it wasn't a widespread thing. Have we ever had a murder that close to downtown before within the heart of the city, or is that a first time? And where are we on that? Is that the gentleman that was accused of that, has he been processed and all of that now, or can you talk about that?
I can't talk about that right now, sir.
Okay.
But I will tell you this, the shootings that are going on, these are targeted shootings. This is not someone just going around within the city and just randomly shooting at cars and people. These are targeted shootings.
What would you say the average age of the person that y'all are seeing that are doing these shootings are? Are we seeing a really, really young age, or are we saying middle age, 20s, 30s, or are they juveniles that are doing this for the most part?
The ages are ranging from 16 to maybe 23 years of age. So that's why I said we're losing a lot of our young people, males and females, to all of this gun violence.
Would you say of that, a large portion of that is due to gang activity that is within a gang retaliating, or is it even have anything to do with a gang?
It can be gang retaliation and domestic violence. So it ranges.
Now I see there's certain areas of town, we've seen a large strip, if you remember up by San Marcos Mexican restaurant a few months back, we had a gentleman, the video where he was walking down the street and somebody parked up the street and shot at him as he ran across the street. And it's just been numerous crimes in between there and Valley Street and also to the west there on 5th Street on the west side of Meridian. Do we have increased security in that area now? It's just seems to be consistently something more going on in there to where people go, well, I don't think I want to drive down 19 anymore. Do we have increased security out that way with police officers?
As I was saying before, we have cameras up, we have officers that patrol, we have businesses that have cameras, and so all of that works and coincides together with the security for that particular area. And yes, we are riding through, they are patrolling through high crime areas.
And let me ask this, because it's getting colder. We all know that we hear about it's a nationwide problem, but Meridian seems to have a pretty big one too, to where people steal cars consistently. And we're Southerners. We like to get into a warm car. What do you say to somebody as we look at this going into these winter months of how to protect themselves? I know it's people pull up to a gas station and leave their car running, they come back and it's gone. What do you say to the citizens about this car theft that we have?
Please don't leave your car running and unattended. Please don't leave your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, or anyone else in the car running while you run into the store to pay for gas or to pick up an item. Just because you have a vehicle that locks and you run in the house and leave it running does not mean someone won't come through and break that window and take off in your car. These are the type of safety issues that we are starting to have see again. So please don't do that, because that causes more problems, and we don't need those type of incidents going on here in the city, when that's something that we can take care of as a community by not doing those type of things.
I know you mentioned that y'all were going to be doing an event on December 1st, but do you have any other events planned, for community-wide to do, with the police force or anything like that to curb this violence?
This wasn't an event that we're putting on. This was something through the Boys and Girls Club that I was speaking of on December the 1st. At the moment, I can't say that we have anything in play in any type of event that we will be putting on right now, but we are definitely sitting together and discussing some type of things that we need to be doing.
And the event, can you talk a little bit more about the event on the 1st with the Boys and Girls Club?
I can't, because it was just an invite from Mr. Hood to the community. That's probably something you'll have to talk to him about. One last question.
On a positive note, I think y'all done an excellent job with the kids on Halloween. And are y'all still doing Christmas with a Cop? Do y'all still do that program that used to happen here? Do y'all still do that for the kids in the community?
We have not done it since the pandemic. So as far as this year, I don't know if they will be doing that or picking it up right now, because we got so many other things going on. It's not that we don't want to do those type of things, but right now we're still doing other things. So we will look into starting that back up, because that's very important, and the officers enjoy that just as much as the children do, and we enjoy helping those families. So anything that we can do, we will try to do that again.
Chief, can I ask?
Yes.
I know a couple months ago you all celebrated with a housing authority that kind of neighborhood watch program, and there's other neighborhood watches around town. Do you find those type of excuse me, do you find those type of organizations, have they been helpful to you? And is that a way for people to get involved who may not feel comfortable coming to the police station?
Yes. A lot of times at the Neighborhood Watch, we do have people that will be there that will speak up on issues that they're having in their neighborhoods, but a lot of the community don't show up. So it's something that we're still working on as far as getting those Neighborhood Watch meetings set up. But yes, information is given out at those meetings, and we're also able to get different speakers there that will be able to give the community different answers to the questions that they have in order to help within their neighborhoods. Thank you all.